The Detroit Lions' golden anniversary season was a year to remember. The 1983 Lions were NFC Central Division champions. A year that began on a down note, ended with a beautiful symphony. A song of harmony and accompaniment, whose melody orchestrated a performance that carried Detroit to a place among the NFC's finest. Included in this lasting composition of strength and unity was the return of Billy Sims to his rightful position as one of the NFL's superior running backs. And the play of the defense, a unit that allowed the fewest points and the fewest touchdowns of any team in the NFC. But what made 1983 truly memorable was the ability of this Lions team to come back. Symbolized by a late season victory over Green Bay, the Lions demonstrated the resiliency and the irrepressibility that took them to the top of the NFC Central. In 1983, the Detroit Lions were comeback champions. The 1983 season began in Tampa, and it was here that the Lions defense first flexed the muscles that would define its play all year long. Seven quarterback sacks, 5 by William Gay, number 79, and a Doug English safety highlighted a near flawless performance as the Lions registered their first shutout in 2 seasons. A shootout in the Silverdome followed, and despite over 400 yards of offense, Detroit fell to Cleveland 31-26. It was not a good omen. The Lions went on to lose their next 3 games to Atlanta, Minnesota, and the Rams, as turnovers, missed opportunities, and injuries, particularly Billy Sims' broken hand, poisoned Detroit's chances of victory. To cap the skid, Eric Dickerson rushed for 199 yards, and Detroit had lost its 4th straight. The opening day win was now nothing but a memory that had long since faded into the darkness of a 1-4 record. Home to battle the Packers. Owner William Clay Ford told his team at the pregame meal to relax and have some fun. He believed they were winners. Ford's words proved prophetic. 3 James Jones scores and a turnover each by the 3 starting linebackers, Gary Cobb, Ken Fantetti, and Jimmy Williams, ended the competitive phase of this contest early in the 3rd quarter. Eric Hipple completed a fine 21 of 29 afternoon with his 2nd touchdown pass of the game.
Hipple back to throw. Lofts it up left side. Leonard Thompson open. Got it at the 5. Touchdown, Leonard Thompson.
The 38-14 win inaugurated the comeback. It continued in full force the next week against Chicago with the return of Billy Sims.
Give to Billy off the right side. Hit in the backfield by Hampton, but fights his way forward and goes in for the touchdown.
You talked about strength and quickness. Billy showed strength on that one because he was hit at the 2-yard line, took it in for the touchdown, and I tell you, he's excited as anyone in the stadium right now.
The normally reserved Sims was sky high. It was as if he could see the future and knew it was good. The present was bountiful as well. An Eric Hipple to Dexter Bussey touchdown in the first half was matched by a Gary Danielson score to Ulysses Norris in the second. Hipple's desperate dash on what was not supposed to be a fake field goal produced the final touchdown as the Lions won their second straight in the NFC Central. The comeback suffered a setback in the rain at Washington, but that did not derail the Lions Express. In the rematch with the Bears, a first-time starter and a rookie helped vault Detroit to victory. Cornerback Bruce McNorton, in his initial pro start, intercepted the first pass thrown his way, while rookie wide receiver Jeff Chadwick caught his first NFL touchdown pass. For the second time in 3 weeks, the Lions soundly defeated Chicago. The early season disappointment had given way to a mid-season revitalization behind a profusion of big plays. The Lions reached the 500 mark against the Giants. A resilient Lions defense did not allow a touchdown and recorded its third safety of the season. The 15-9 victory was Detroit's fourth in its last 5 games. The Lions had turned their season around.
I think we've had a big rise lately in confidence and in ability. It's kind of a crazy thing for me to say that we're suddenly better than we were 3 weeks ago, but we are a young team, and the only thing that's going to improve you, the only thing that's going to get you in shape, the only thing that's going to make you game worthy is to play football games. And I think the younger the team, the longer it takes a team to begin to play up to their potential. I really feel like the talent's here, the coaching's here, and if we can achieve a level of maturity to play with fewer mistakes than anyone else and to play with a lot of confidence week after week, no big highs, no big lows, I feel like we can definitely be a contender in the whole NFL.
But Detroit fell to previously winless Houston. A week later, the Lions trailed Green Bay big at the half. This, however, was the year of the comeback. Detroit overcame that 20-3 halftime deficit as Billy Sims ran for a career-high 189 yards on a club record 36 carries. The defense was at its aggressive best in the final 30 minutes, shutting out the Packers while allowing Green Bay no third down conversions. The Lions came all the way back on a Hipple touchdown strike in the fourth quarter, and then completed the coup in overtime.
Eddie Murray to win it. The kick is up. This one's in that direction, and this one is good. And the Detroit Lions have come from a 17-point deficit to beat the Green Bay Packers on Eddie Murray's 37-yard field goal in overtime by a final score of 23-20. What a great comeback for the Lions, and they're back in the race in the Central Division.
It was the first in a 3-game stretch that saw the Lions race to the top of the NFC Central. Thanksgiving Day against Pittsburgh, Billy Sims' third straight 100-yard day was the catalyst in an awesome Detroit performance.
Bobby waits for it, grabs it at the 19, to his left, 20, 25. Goes to the outside, trying to outrun a couple guys, 30, 35, 40, 50, 45, 40, 35, 40. He is going all the way. A touchdown for Robbie
Buck. Minnesota was the third victim as the defense sacked Steve Dills 7 times and did not allow a touchdown for the 10th consecutive quarter. Hippel's pass to rookie Jeff Chadwick was the only touchdown in Detroit's 13-2 victory, a win that raised the Lions' record to 8-6. The turnaround had been realized, and it was due in large part to a group of rookies whose individual contributions paralleled the team's success. Jeff Chadwick was an undrafted free agent whose acrobatic receiving skills earned him a starting spot by season's end. 7th-round draft choice Mike Black was one of the NFC's most consistent punters, and he was an integral part of an outstanding special teams unit that was led by special teams MVP Roosevelt Barnes. Mike Kofa came in the 3rd round, and his exceptional physical ability inspired the kind of praise heaped on the Taylors and Greens of the NFL. Starting center Steve Mott, number 52, and reserve tackle Rich Strenger helped open holes for 1st-round pick James Jones, number 30. Jones was the best pure fullback in the draft, an excellent lead blocker who helped Billy Sims average nearly 5 yards a carry, and a sure-handed receiver out of the backfield as his team-leading 46 catches revealed. Jones is also a multi-dimensional runner, equally at home punishing defenders up the middle or dancing around them on the outside. An outstanding group of rookies was one more reason why 1983 was a year to remember. In 1983, no team in the NFC allowed fewer points than the Detroit Lions. Linebackers Ken Fantetti, Jimmy Williams, and Gary Cobb, number 53. The youngest secondary in the NFL, number 27, Bobby Watkins, William Graham, Alvin Hall, and Bruce McNaughton, number 29. And a front 4 of Curtis Green, Mike Kofer, William Gay, and Doug English. English, number 78, had a career-best 13 sacks in 1983, enhancing his place among the league's true warriors.
I think the number one attribute for a defensive lineman is to be intense, is to come every single play, is to physically want to dominate each play and each opponent.
English's level of play is so consistently strong that he has become a perennial All-Pro, a fixture among the best defensive tackles in the NFL. His Pro Bowl partner is number 79, Gay, a selfless team leader who played both end and tackle and became one of the league's best sackers.
To get a sack, it has to be, it's art. That's what sacking's about, it's art. I use mostly my quickness and my agility to get past the offensive lineman. Defense, you're a step behind. You have to be over-aggressive. You have to attack this man. Keep taunting him, come at him, and then go.
Gay registered 13.5 sacks, combining with English to give Detroit what many consider to be the finest pair of tackles in the NFL. But the Lions' stingy defense could not prevent a Week 15 defeat at Cincinnati. They had not clinched the division title yet. A third consecutive sellout crowd filled the Silverdome on the regular season's final Sunday, anticipating the Lions' first division championship in 26 years. The dirty slate of a 1-4 start had been wiped clean. The comeback had come too far to be denied now. This was a team oozing with confidence, full of spirit, and certain that they belonged on top of the NFC Central.
Toss to Billy Sweep on the right. Gets a block from Jones. Inside the 5. And he goes in for the touchdown.
With a score tied in the final period, the Lions put away Tampa like a true champion. Behind the offensive line of Dorney, Greco, Mott, Elias, and Dietrich, Gary Danielson directed Detroit to the win and the division title.
Geary back to throw. Against the blitz, they pick it up. Fires on the slant of the end zone. Touchdown, Jeff Chadwick.
That's what Lion fans and the Lions wanted so badly, to go to the playoffs riding on the crest of a win, and that's what they're going to get today.
And that is it. The amazing comeback story of the 1983 Detroit Lions is complete.
With starting quarterback Eric Hipple still sidelined, the Lions traveled to San Francisco for the NFC divisional playoff, riding a wave of 8 victories in their last 11 games. It proved to be a mirror image of their season. Plagued by turnovers and missed chances, the Lions fell behind, only to storm back. Billy Sims, as he had done so brilliantly during the regular season, sparked the turnaround, rushing for 114 yards and igniting an offense that was turnover-prone in the first half. Sims scored twice in the fourth quarter. The first broke the ice, following 3 Eddie Murray field goals, won a playoff record 54-yarder, while number 20's second score put Detroit ahead 23-17.
Here's a give to Billy. Quick trap up the middle. Touchdown, Detroit. Billy Sims. All right, Billy! With less than 5 minutes to go, Detroit has taken the lead.
Where's Al Michaels, huh? Do you believe it?
But Detroit would have to come back once more. A 49ers touchdown made it 24-23. Only 78 seconds remained in the game. Gary Danielson passed the Lions to the San Francisco 25-yard line. The outcome rested with a remarkably consistent Eddie Murray, who had kept the Lions in the game with his 3 first-half field goals.
11 seconds left, and Eddie Murray will try to win this one for Detroit with a kick of about 42 yards. The season on the line for the Lions. The snap is good. The hold is good. The kick is up, and it is wide to the right. It is wide to the right and no good. The Lions can't believe it. They cannot believe they have come this far, only to lose. I'll tell you one thing. This team never quit. You got to hand it to them. They've come a long way this year, and they did not quit.
If it is truly possible to stand tall in defeat, then the 1983 Detroit Lions soared far above the crowd. Dangerously close to playoff elimination 5 games into the season, Monty Clark held his lines together, and Detroit charged to the division championship.
Even when we were 1-4, I really felt good about our team and said, no one was listening much to me at that time, but I said this is the best team that we've had, and I've felt better about this team than any that we've had so far.
From top to bottom, the Lions' 49-man roster was as solid as any in the conference. Detroit lost key players like Leonard Thompson, Billy Sims, and Keith Dorney for extended periods, and still had the depth and the character to win the division.
A lot of people have the will to win, but not too many the will to prepare to win. But we've talked a lot about that, and they've worked hard, and so I think the character of the team has had a lot to do with it.
In 1983, the Detroit Lions crossed that indefinable line that separates the good teams from the average teams. It was a year of unity, a year of strength, a year when the young Lions, maturing with every game, earned the respect of the entire NFL. The Lions' 50th season signaled a return to prominence, control of the NFC Central, a division championship, and a deserving place among the league's playoff elite. The 1983 Detroit Lions can proudly call themselves champions.